PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time. This is a look back podcast. This is a fan favorite. Oh boy, I can't believe how long ago this was. This is a new version of Realtime recipe, Realtime wall bed assembly, where I put together a wall bed. I don't even know what year this was, but it was quite a while ago. Here's the thing. It was great, but it didn't turn out to, it turned out to be a great bed. It worked out great for the situation. And it'll be lulling and soothing. If you're new, welcome to Sleep With Me. This is an episode where we pull a show out of our archives because we got over almost 1,200 episodes. And because fans over the years have loved. But Sleep With Me is a podcast to take your mind off some put you to sleep. It is a bit different, so give it a few tries and see how it goes. It does take some getting used to. It's really meant to ease you into bedtime. Structurally, we have some support coming up. That's how we're able to put out the show for free. Then there'll be a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. It's really a show within a show, so you don't want to miss out on that. It's where you get to know me, or eventually you say, oh, okay, I've gotten to know you, that I know I don't need to pay attention to you. And I say, perfect. Now we have an understanding. I'm here for you because you deserve a good night's sleep. And then there'll be a bedtime story based on my putting together a wall bed. And I'm sure I thought it was going to come with it was a positive bed. It really did work out, but it didn't fix everything. I don't know if I posit that in the episode or not. And after that will be, that's the show. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for coming by. And these are the ways I'm able to do it for you for free twice a week. Hey everybody, it's Scoots, and it is time to talk about our Patreon. It keeps the show going. You may have heard me in the Sleepy Supporter Zone. I hear from a lot of people who aren't in a position to support the show. So if you are, and you get value out of the show for yourself, we've got exciting news. Subscriber summer's coming up. Not only do you get to support the show, staying free for everybody else, but you get more stuff. Best of both worlds, right? If you sign up now, you'll get access to all the stuff we got coming out this summer. You do not want to miss out. We're going to have tons of exclusive content just for patrons and subscribers, but there's already thousands of episodes in the $10 and $20 feed. I think there's over 2,000 different things to listen to. So there's something for everyone. A few patrons love the ad-free episodes. Others prefer the all-intro episodes, and still others prefer the story-only episodes. There's also the all-night compilations of old series, bonus content like Fearless Flyers, exclusive Star Trek TNG episodes, and if you're a regular listener, you like to pick and choose your favorites, Patreon's the way to go. We're able to put a lot of stuff in there that wouldn't work in the free feed, like on-location episodes and more. So don't wait. Check it out at sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it is time for the Sleepy Supporter Zone in the Deep Dark Night United. I forgot what was important about the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Somehow, thinking about the show and the future of the show and, getting in between my ears. And I got so much feedback on that survey on the sponsor page. And the majority of it was either people that aren't in a position to support the show or that just get so much out of the podcast. And that's what the Sleepy Supporter Zone is always about, is celebrating the people that take action so the show can be free for everybody, because Sleep With Me is supported by direct action, either through people supporting the sponsors or supporting the show. And I totally forgot about that in all of my concerns around the podcast. So I apologize, and we'll get back to celebrating and the people that supported the sponsors, and let the sponsors know about it. Let me know about it. For the time being, though, I'm thanking the people that took the time to give me that feedback and re-energize it. I guess I forgot to be excited about the Sleepy Supporter Zone. So the main thing is, if you do support a sponsor, Helix, Air Doctor, AquaTrue, ZocDoc, please let me know about it and let them know about it so I can thank you, because that's what the Sleepy Supporter Zone is all about, is you taking action to support the show for everybody else and for you. And I want to thank some of those people, Clara, Aaron, Charlotte, Ashley and Merritt, thanks so much. So I'll probably rebrand this Sleepy Supporter Zone, the Deep Dark Night United. That's something I've had in my mind for a while because we do it together. That's what all the feedback reminded me. We're together in the Deep Dark Night. Deep Dark Night United. It does sound like a little bit like a little footballer thing. But thank you so much, everybody who took the time to let me know what you get out of the show and how important keeping it free for everybody is, and realizing that's what it's really all about, those feelings. So like the reason we do the Sleeper Supporter Zone is to give the people that did that, took action, good feels. So I hope if you heard your name or you took action, you know how much I appreciate it. And so many other people do. And that is the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Oh, no, it's not. There's a lot of, there's support for listeners. If you're in need right now, there's links you could take, like links you could connect with if you're having a tough time, including international resources. It's also about taking action to be a part of positive change, not just saying Black Lives Matter, not just saying stop AAPI hate, not just saying support Ukraine, but learning more and doing stuff. And there's links to resources where you could do that right in our show notes. And one of the things we're taking action on is building hygiene kits for people experiencing homelessness, supporting the Midnight Mission. You could do all those things at through our show notes, or you could learn more about the Midnight Mission just by Googling the Midnight Mission. Now, that is the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Oh, Mystery Bard. A lot of people work hard helping out on this show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcript.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Don't forget you can get your sleep phones at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep-phones. Those are official Sleep With Me branded sleep phones with the Sleep With Me swag on there. Use Sleep With Me at checkout to get $5 off your order. And that's it. What do you say? We slow it down and get on with the show. Hey, I'm like tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep. Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me. The podcast that's here to put you to sleep. We do it the bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights and press play. I'm going to do the rest. By the way, I'm a little breathy on the mic right now. I don't know if you'll hear it as it comes out, but I'm going to do the rest. Yeah, what that means is I'm going to create a safe place and actually monitoring my audio and paying attention as closely as I can to my pace and stuff. That's part of creating a safe place. But the safe place is where you can set aside whatever it is that's keeping you up, whether it's stuff you're thinking about, stuff you're physically feeling, what they call feelings or emotions that you could be experiencing, or you say, can you feel feelings? And that's a trick question if you're asking me. Okay, I'm crossing my fingers because I'm wondering if there's like a rubber mallet test for feelings. Maybe we could come back to that. But whatever it is, whether it's feelings, thoughts, physical sensations, or condensation. Holy crow. Hopefully you're not experiencing any condensation unless you're, that'd be great if that'd be a new listener base. Sodas. You say, well, how did Scooter break out? Well, they figured out that if in soda warehouses, if they played his podcast, the high fructose corn syrup would vibrate in a certain way where it just added to touch, it balanced out the sweetness even more. And that's how Scooter for a day or two. But then they realized that they said, we didn't know you could spoil soda, but you did. Why'd you have to tell that story about the soda that got feelings? Why would you do that? We said, we'll play your podcast
at the soda warehouses. It creates oral condensation. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff I do around here. Senseless meanders. So that's part of the safe place to take your mind off of what's keeping you awake. Whether, like I said, condensation, could be any, changes in your schedule, routine, back to school, whatever it is. I'm going to try to take your mind off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark nights, along, with the loving kindness in the hope I can escort you across the threshold from wake to sleep or distract you while you float across there. And, one of the methods I do it is I guess you could call it indulge. I indulge the parts of my brain that they always say, and I don't know, maybe this is why the podcast works, is just because I just be myself a lot of the time. And you say, yeah, and I'm not kidding. You don't even need to roll your eyes because you see, can you imagine this? That's why I just keep my mouth shut. And I guess what a wonderful place to be able to be myself, because I can put you to sleep and I get to be myself and wonder stuff like, can you feel feelings? Because I guess I have trouble through that. This is where my thoughts were going earlier. And I guess if you're new here, this is a little sample of a distraction-based tangent, or DBT. That doesn't sound TBD, tangent-based distraction. I guess I'll be BT. Anyway, what I was thinking is, why don't, when they, at least I see this in cartoons. I don't know if I've ever seen it in real life. Maybe when there was one girl in my class in grammar school and her mother was a doctor and she came in. I think she brought one of those rubber mallets. Yeah, I think she did. Dr. K, I won't say her full name because obviously, getting associated with this podcast is, they'd say, well, it's not a malpractice suit. It's like, we would say it's a but you see, what are the rubber mallet? What is that called? Like where they check your reflexes. I guess that's what they check with that. We got to get one of those type of tests for emotions. And it's because I think even my reflexes, they'd say, nope, you're lacking in reflexes. And they say, are you doing that on purpose? I'd say, possibly, I don't know. But I wonder if I'm sure there is an actual test to say, well, it's test your, but I'd prefer if it wasn't, Rorschach based or, question based. Tell me about your relationship with this. And I say, well, can't you just tap something with a rubber mallet? And I think that would be better for the current, at least in the United States. They say, okay, yeah, we'll just prescribe you something. We'll tap you twice with this mallet. And we'll say, okay. But wouldn't that be nice if you'd say, listen, Doc, I don't know if I'm feeling feelings. Don't know if I ever have before. Can you run a test on me? Oh, yeah, let me get out the old feeling mallet. It's like a rubber mallet, but it's a sponge. And I said, really, a sponge? And this could be the trick. Here you go. Say, anybody that don't do this unless you want to lose your business. But if you're close to retirement and you want to go out the bang, I guess the patient's reaction to the test. I think this is in a lot of different, TV shows and movies anyway. But you say, well, no, it's made out of sponge. Are you with me? The test is how I react to the apparatus, not the actual apparatus itself. You see, so instead of using a rubber mallet to test my physical, what do we call it? I forgot. Reactions? Is that what it was called? You're going to tap me with a sponge-based mallet to see what my emotional reactions are. What is it called? I forgot. Is it reaction? I can't believe my brain is like Swiss cheese, like a sponge. And the doctor said, yeah, how do you feel about being tapped with a sponge-based mallet? And they said, whoa, Doc, is it a sponge mallet or a sponge-based mallet? Because that sounds like that sounds like the ingredients on stuff in the middle of the aisle. So the grocery store now, sponge-based. Is it a sponge? Is an actual sponge? Because then they say, okay, let me just write this down. Well, what are you writing down? You haven't tapped me with your sponge mallet yet. He said, "You're doing great. We're just going to tap you. Where would you tap me for the, because I've always wondered where my emotions live. I think there is the Achilles heel, they say. Have you ever tapped anyone in the Achilles heel with a sponge-based mallet? And do they have an emotional response? I guess that would be they'd say, how are you feeling now that I'm tapping? Well, it's a little ticklish, I'll be honest with you, doctor. And it's also ridiculous. I feel a bit I feel like this is something strange. You're tapping me with a... They said, why don't you tap me right here, right in the middle of my chest? And the doctor, you say, okay, is that where you think your feelings, the source of your feeling? No, I just want to hear what kind of sound it makes. I'm gonna make the, I want to see, I'm gonna try to do the, like this is, doctor, listen real close. This is what it sounds like when I tap with my finger. So I want to hear with a sponge. Do you have your rubber mallet? Could we tap my chest with my rubber mallet too? And okay, my appointment's over. Well, you never tapped me with the sponge-based mallets. So that's a little sample of the podcast. Unintentional, to be honest with you. But once I get a sponge-based mallet in my head, is that what it is? It's a mallet. What's the difference between a mallet and a hammer? I'm not doing material either. Like, are mallets just hammers that aren't made from metal and wood? No, because you have wooden mallets. You have a wooden mallet. You have a rubber mallet. You have you have the mallet used to put is that a hammer for your tent? I've seen those. Is that a mallet or a hammer? Because you know how much I love words on this podcast. Mallet is a lovely word. Hammer, a little hard, a little for a sleep podcast. Hammer, you hear that? Mallets. Just in case anybody's listening that's curious about the process of this podcast, what are the secrets of your podcast? You got to know the difference. Let me tell you, have a seat, doctor. Let me tell you, there's a big difference between the word hammer and the word mallets. And the doctor said, actually, I'm a whatever word scientist on the side, and there actually isn't very much. They say we're talking about the art of words, doctor. And the doctor said, can you repeat that? Because I don't even think you said the art of words. It sounded like you had one word that meant it. And I say, exactly, I'm efficient as well as artistic with my words. And I'm telling you that in the context of this podcast, mallets, especially rubbery. What about a pillowy mallet? A pillowy mallet, hammering your heart with my words, doctor. So anyway, sometimes the podcast can get a little ridiculous because it's meant to take your mind off stuff, lighten the mood, like lighten the mallet, like a sponge-based or a feather-based or a hypoallergenic-based mallet would. You'd say, wow, that really lightened up the mallet, taking away the part that actually functions as a mallet. We'll say you got a nice handle there, doctor. And may I say your handle on that handle makes me want to play a little handle, if you don't mind me getting a goof, triple in the goof. So anyway, that's the podcast. And if you don't like this, no big deal. You don't need to listen close. You can fall asleep whenever you want. But you're under no pressure to fall asleep. I'll be here for another 50 minutes or so, telling a bedtime story, giving it my all, and give it a few tries if you're new here. But if you don't like me, if I get on your nerves, if you find me grating, there's no, what was that called? Like, no expectation. You don't have to like me. It doesn't work for everybody. I think that there's a nicer way of putting it, like where non-antagonistic or whatever. It's cool. I mean, I totally get it. I just talked about mallet. I mean, I probably said mallet 85 times, and I can't get enough of it. And if you could actually have a video of my brain right now, I mean, I guess I am like 30 or 40% Homer Simpson, because I literally have mallets on the brain. Mallets on the brain, podcast, you could figure out the rest of the rhyme. So anyway, I'm glad you're here. This is a podcast to take your mind off stuff a little bit silly. Maybe put something like almost resembling a smile on your face. For lovers of mallets, you're obviously in the right place. or, mallet designers, or psychological, pseudo-psychological test designers. You say, there you go. You got a new business. The mallet test. Is that named after the sponge mallet? No, it's ultimate irony. Edward Mallet and his wife Renee Mallet, they came up with the test together. They were, geniuses in the field. And he said, why don't you call it the Mallet's test? Well, we did for a while, but it's just easier to say the mallet test because also there's a mallet involved. So that's it, mallets and all. I hope, I'm glad you're here. I appreciate your time. I'm actually here to waste your time. It's strangely enough, but in the most productive way possible, because you don't even need to tune me. You can tune me out whenever you need to. And, by wasting your time, ideally you drift off, or kick back and listen. If you can't fall asleep, like I said, I'll be here the whole time. So, thanks for stopping by. I really yearn to help you fall asleep.
Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive, where customers who save by switching their home and car save nearly $800 on average. Quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $793 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2021 and May 2022. Potential savings will vary.
Hey, what's up? Good to see you. Let me just tell you up front, I don't have any food plans. Won't be doing any cooking, but I'm glad you came over because I've been stressed here. I bought a bed frame for and I got to put it together. And I'm pretty good at putting stuff together. But I thought it says you need 3 people. And it took all my will to ask you to come over and give me some help with this, because it's not my bed. It's my dog for my daughter. So I don't want to. Well, it's actually a mixed use bed. I'll be honest with you for guests and things, but I was going to do it by myself. And I did do it by myself. And then I had one of those ones where my dyslexia kicked in and I had a couple pieces. Maggie, you know me. I mean, I'm like one of the great furniture putter-togethers in the world, and especially, affordable entry-level furniture. I guess, I'm not a craftsman. I'm an assembler, just like the podcast. You see, Sleep With Me podcast, is that a thing of craft? And more like an assembly of mismatched assembly. I think assemblage. And it's like I can assemble anything. So I got this bed. So thanks so much for coming by. I have some drinks here. I have, believe it or not, I have 2. This is how crazy I am. So I don't, like I said, I can't keep anything in the house that isn't sparkling. Well, that's not true. I have milk in there. And I have actually 2 kinds of non-dairy milk, one of which was rejected. I drank it. It's coconut. I don't know, it's like soy milk or rice milk, but it says it's coconut. I'm not sure what it really is, but it's vanilla flavored. Then I have a chocolate alternative beverage. But then let me tell you about these waters I've been, so I have the water machine so I can sparkle on location here. Which I do, and I spark. Thank you. You're sparkling. Your smile is as sparkling as your is the star. But let me tell you. Let's talk about water instead of sparkle in your eye. So at some point I said, I used to think that what are these called? These are called mineral waters. I thought those were for snobs. To be honest, and so maybe you needed to. You might have to lose me as a friend because I started buying mineral water, sparkling mineral water. Now, I'll tell you what, for the price, when you compare it around it to soda, and the thing is, I drink a lot of stuff because I can't drink. So I have to drink a lot of stuff that doesn't, because otherwise, if I'm not always drinking something, I'm thinking about drinking. almost, not really, but so I have these two, so to TJs, where we always go. They have these two different ones. One is, I think that's a German word. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. That's the clear bottle. Then the green bottle, that's the the standard everybody buys. That's the one I always thought was snobby. But it turns out they taste different. And that's why I have both. So is this too much information about a drink you're going to have? Also have lemon and lime. I have fresh or not fresh, and then I have frozen ones. But yeah, so the German one, I guess if you had to ask me if I prefer one, the German one has a little bit stronger mineral flavor. No sulfur action on either one. But it has a little more flavor. And you say, what is it? And I say mineral. It's got a hint of mineral. Now, I don't know anything about the minerals that are in there. I've looked at the label and I Googled it once or twice, and then I think I got on some list. But supposedly it's perfectly good for you, these two waters. So I have those two. Then I have homemade sparkling water, which I can make 1 out of 5 times. I say, well, I have a cold pitcher of water in the fridge. And then the other, what is that? So it leaves this, I say, just use the tap water. Do I talk to myself? Of course, while I'm doing that, unless I'm listening to a podcast. Yeah, my kitchen is still mostly 99% invisible and criminal only for podcasts. I'm trying to think if I've listened to anything else. No, those are the only 2 I listen to in the kitchen. Just makes it easier. If I'm not listening to those, I'm watching football, soccer. I'm watching soccer on the iPad. Yeah, it's what a life I live, right? Oh, boy. But so, okay, I'm not even through the beverages yet. And no canned beverages right now. Just because I guess, I don't know why. There was a couple of decent ones, but sometimes my cart gets so full. I guess these mineral bottles, they're so darn heavy. And then I also changed to, after the great soda vacation, I'll tell you how I adjusted. But so then I have I have homemade sparkling water, which we could put lemon or lime in. I don't know if I have any ice cubes. I washed my ice cube thing maybe 3 months ago, and it's still on the drying rack. Again, that's some sort of emotional issue that I can't get it from the drying rack filled with water and into the freezer, and I don't know what it is. Emotional block, I guess. So that's that. But I also have, not mineral water. I guess it's spring water. Or something, Americanized water with a flavoring. So I have some mixed berry and some lime. Okay, you're laughing. Okay, then we have a iced tea situation, but it's it's a little late in the day for iced tea. It's like after 2 because so I have now at lunch ever since. So the great soda vacation where I drank all that soda. And I probably became chemically dependent on soda and caffeinated soda. So I said, well, boy, I got to cut the soda when I get back from vacation. And I do like tea and iced tea. So I said, okay. And I have that big, 40-ounce insulated thing. So I have, TJ's has, they have this brand of iced tea that comes in a glass. That's just regular black iced tea. But then they also have this green and white tea with a little mint that comes in a jug. See that jug? That's that jug. They're both. So I do a tri-tea. Yeah, so I fill it half with black tea. Then I put some honey in there, and then I put the white and the green tea, and then frozen lemon or lime. Yeah, like I said, this is the is this snobby or no? No, it's the opposite. It's par for the course for me. Exactly. So really you can't drink the tea because that's just for lunch at work. And that way I can keep getting caffeine until about 1:30. There's a little sugar in there. So it doesn't keep me from thinking about drinking soda. But for the most part, plus I've been having issues, I always have issues with dollar bills. Like the end of paper money can't come soon enough for me. So those are, I probably have some other, oh, you're not thirsty. Okay. Did you just have me go through the beverage menu for your own entertainment? Okay, that's great. You know what? Let me just pitch you on a mocktail. It's the weakest mocktail you'll ever have. But another thing I obsessively consume only in a contextual situation is this, there's coconut water and then there's aloe coconut water. Oh, you can't wait to hear my theories on this. I don't really have any theories on them. At some point I decided, and again, this is not scientifically based research, that the aloe coconut water at TJ's, at Trader Joe's, is the beverage that makes my mouth the least noisy when I'm recording a podcast. So that is the context that I drink that water in, and I like to have it at room temperature, but the problem is it spoils. You're laughing. Yeah, you could sit down and laugh at me. It's no problem. This is serious business. This is my life's calling, this podcast. So, this water consumption. So the aloe coconut water, like I have a little cup that has a top. So, like if it's a day one, like so this, usually I always record in back-to-back nights anyway. So for night one, I fill the cup and then I put the rest in the fridge. Because you can't leave it out. It goes bad within hours. It's amazing. And then I drink that. And now more recently I said they were out of the aloe. So then I bought the regular coconut water. And then I said, this tastes pretty good. And then I recorded a show and I didn't hear any mouth noises. So I said, well, maybe that's psychosomatic, so now I just buy, I alternate. Okay, go ahead and laugh. That's fine. I guess I alternate. Fastidiously. So I'll go through one jug or one Tetra Pak of coconut water. And that'll get me through 2 recording sessions. And then I'll go through one Tetra Pak of, it's not a Tetra Pak though, because it's a Tetra Pak to me is square. Or whatever you call an elongated square container. Rectangle. No, well, I guess it is a rectangle. You're right. I wish I'd paid attention to three-dimensional geometry. They lost me at 2 dimensions. But anyway, so I do alternate. Then the next day, and then day 3, I'll be back to aloe and coconut water. But just today, I forgot to buy either one at the store, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I have enough to make it through 3 or 4 more recordings, but we'll see. After that, I don't know, because since I don't have a car, yeah, it's tough times, trying times, correct. But so, so the mocktail is going to pitch you on, but I only drink the coconut water and the aloe coconut water when I'm recording a podcast. And normally I hear it's I'm not drinking it for the electrolytes. I'm drinking it for the mouth noises and because it tastes, it doesn't have bubbles, so I don't burp because I burp a lot, and I can't do that during the podcast. When I say burp, it's cute. Well, I belch, I don't burp, I make these bellowing noises like a macho man would, okay, now, yeah, I'm on a roll. We're not going to Trader Joe's, so maybe I'm more relaxed because I don't have to worry about facing anyone I have a crush on. What I did discover is if you, there's pineapple juice. If you have a half cup of pineapple juice and a half cup of coconut water, it tastes pretty good, and that's a mocktail. Like I said, it's pretty weak. Taste isn't weak though. Taste is it tastes like I said, geez, I imagine I'm on a tropical beach when I'm just sitting in my kitchen. You have trouble believing that. Well, I do. And I say, well, I can't handle having a drink on a tropical beach, but I can drink pineapple juice and coconut water in my kitchen. And do you understand? Okay, good. So anyway, now that we've been through the beverages, let's talk about this bed we've got to assemble. Yeah, so let's talk theory. Do you want to talk theory first? So it's a wall bed. I think at some point they were called Murphy beds. I never looked up why, but I've always thought that I should own one because, like, I don't think I'm ever moving out of this apartment. My rent just went. Did your rent go up? My rent just went up. Yeah, it went up. It didn't go up like a crushing. It went up enough to hurt, but not enough to make me work. Like, because I'm pretty sure it can't go up again. Like, they haven't passed rent control, but it's on the ballots. And if it passes, then it'll just be a once a year thing. And so, yeah, I can make it. But yeah, it's, you know how it is here. So this apartment is probably where I'll be for at least a few more years. I mean, or for forever. And since it's only one bedroom and I have the living room split in half and that's my room, the backside of the living room. And this is her room. I said for my daughter, I'd like to have a wall bed because even the bedroom's not that huge. So it'd be cool to have more space to play. And since she's only here for half the time, you know, the bed would be up. And then if one day we did move, you know, then you say, oh, cool, you got a wall bed, which I guess I don't know. I guess I didn't totally think it out. I just said, well, that'd be good. I've been thinking about it for at least a couple of years and pricing them and seeing Costco and looking over at the IKEA hack websites and thinking, geez, should I just do an IKEA hack or checking Craigslist a lot? And so I said, well, if this is going to be her room and like it'll be like a upgrade for her bed. If there's guests, they could stay in this bed because it has a little more room and there's just more floor space. I mean, because what do I want to do more than anything is play dolls on the floor with her. And so what could go, you know, how could that be a bad thing to have more space to play with dolls? Yeah, I know. So I decided at some point, and then I undecided. You know, for the past 6 months, I said, okay, I'm going to get one of those wall beds. And I said, no, I'm not going to get a wall bed. And then I said no, and you know, I did come up with a new theory about these things, which is like when I have double the money to buy it, then I buy it. If I can't decide, I say, okay, if it's, let's just say that's $400, then when I've saved $800, I'll buy the $400 thing. Because I said, I don't know what, that doesn't mean, no, that's not based on any. Well, I'm terrible with money, so I just figured that, like, this is more guilt-based. I feel less, you know, less ashamed and guilt-ridden from spending money because I had saved twice as much money. It just makes my internal critic shame me less, I think. So, yeah, once I had saved the money, then it kind of became like the money was there, and I said, well, okay, let me look into it, and then I compare, you know. But you never know if any, but I found like a couple manufacturers. I trust, I guess the thing that comes down to is that Costco, if my understanding is they vet everybody. And since I don't have a car, I'm not a member there. So I didn't buy it from them, but I priced it around and I said, okay, there's their price. And I found a deal. And I thought I bought it from this up and coming company, you know, that, and it didn't go well either. Like the buying, you know, they're taking my money process worked. I guess I got a vent here. Like in this day and age, I can't understand how you could have a shipping problem. I don't know. And especially if a customer is paying more than $100, I just don't understand how there could be a shipping issue. But this thing, because it was furniture, it couldn't go through one of the delivery companies. So I had to go through another company, and they had to set a time to deliver it. And I know this is going to sound like a FW, what is the first, FWAP or whatever. But they said, okay, we'll be here between this time and this time. So I had to work extra so I could get off anyway, like, of course, and then I had to be somewhere. Like, it was between 2 and 6, and I had to be somewhere at 7, podcasting thing for the other podcasters in the Bay Area, like Harold and Carol and Blake and Aaron Dom and Jen, a bunch of all the love of Steve, all these lovely people. Tons of, you'll hear more about them. Yeah. Am I letting them get to know me? But, and I prefer, so anyway, so they said they would come. They didn't come. They didn't call, which that made me crazy. And then I called. They're supposed to be here between 2 and 6. And at 5, I called, and then it was like, oh yeah, you're free. It was automatic. You put in your, a number, and it says, okay, your furniture can be there between 2 and 6 today. They didn't call, and they didn't, show up. And so then I sent the company I bought it from an email. I said, well, geez, and I paid an extra $50 in positive for this. The company still claims I didn't. Yeah, for them to bring it in the front door because I didn't know what it was coming as. But then the next day between 2 and 6, the poor delivery driver calls me. I mean, he's calling up a, madman. He says, hey, I'm at your house. And I said, well, you're supposed to be there yesterday. I know it's not your fault. And actually he said, oh yeah, right here. It says on the invoice yesterday between 2 and 6. And he goes, yeah, they gave it to me today. And then he said something like he said, well, so me and the delivery driver had to work it out between the two of us, but between the two of us, meanwhile, these mega corporations. But so that's still unresolved because I think, with the big A company, Amazon, you could say a lot about them, but they know how to get stuff delivered. And if you call them and you have trouble, they know how to say, oh, of course, sir, you're totally, where other companies, they still treat me like I'm a pariah. And this person, they said something about it. I don't think they were being honest with me. So it's still unresolved that. So yeah, sorry, I had to get that out. Sorry about that. You can see how I'd be frustrated. You should work at the call center for the thing, but you can't just say that. That makes it feel trite. You gotta say, sir, what can I do? What can I do? I don't know what you could do with me. You'd say, oh, totally. We totally messed it up, buddy. And then, I don't know. The one time I did call Amazon with a problem, they said, okay, let's fix this. Let's fix that. So it can be done. I can be pleased. It's possible. It's not easy. But anyway, we got to get to work on this bed. But actually, first we got to go to this hardware store. So let's, by the magic of podcasting, let's get over it. Yep. So we're going into this hardware store. It's probably called Pagano's. It's the local hardware store. Now they have 2 stores. I think it was a family business. I don't know if it still is a family business. And yeah, they had left their location that they were at for years, which was like an old school hardware store with the low ceilings and the packed aisleways. And but now they have this one that we're going to. What are we going to get? Well, long screws to anchor into studs. Yeah, you can't make any stud jokes anymore. It's just not funny. Actually, I'm not buying a stud finder either. One, because yeah, and just because I feel like I think they've been disproven, and we'll make do without a stud finder. What are we gonna do? Well, it's a rental. It's a rental apartment. I'm never leaving, probably. So we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it, but we're going to get screws to anchor into the studs and some shims. Why shims? Because we're going to shim some. I think we might need to do some shimming. And I just love it. Shim, like, what if I was Dick Van Dyke? Shiminy. No. Yeah, that's not funny. It's just way funnier than stud finder jokes, I'll tell you that. Yeah, so those are the only things we need. Should I ask anyone for help? About what? Well, no, should I? No, not a human being. I could ask you, why would I ask a human being when I could just ask Google? And I don't have to worry about it. They say, really, you're going to do that? Did I ever tell you about the time we were going to go, it was my friend Pat, my friend Chris, and my friend Marnie. And we didn't have a lot of money, the four of us, but we'd always dreamed of skiing in Vermont. That was like the thing. And so we found, I think, no, I didn't have anything to do with this part, but either Chris or Marnie, they found this super cheap way we could go if we drove up there. And so we did, but we didn't have, I didn't have a car. So we had to use Chris's car, which was one of those Jeeps, those Wrangler type Jeeps. And where are you going to put 4 sets of skis, right? And so I remember we were trying to figure out a way to do it, and whatever solution, we were trying to figure out the cheaper, because we didn't have any money. So we said, we figured out the solution with duct tape and stuff, and we ran it by the guy, like some sort of mechanic or something, and he said, the wiser man would not do that. And so I think if I ask for help here, that's what they'll say to me. That's usually, or their look will say that. The wiser man would not do that. And I'd say, it's 2016, buddy. It's the wiser person, okay? And they'd say, anyone with any wisdom wouldn't do that. I say, well, thank you for rephrasing it. So that's it. Oh, any crushes at the screw? No, I only go to the store like once. So there's the anchor bolts there, or wood, screw, those ones. Yeah, those ones look tough. And that's what we need, tough. And then the shims. I could ask where shims are if we can't find them. But let's walk around the entire store twice before I ask an employee for help. Do I have a crush on any worker here? No, not that I know of. No, I mean, I don't come here often enough. But believe me, with the amount of time I get out of my place, I was hoping, they say, oh, you're here for shit. And then I could use the shim, like I could say, hey, hang back. And I'd say, well, shimmy, shim, cherie. You check it. They said, are you a plastic shimmer or a wooden shimmer? As your eyes glimmer, my thoughts grow dimmer. No, you're here to buy shims as well. Are you going to be shimming? Yeah, I just love, I'm sorry. It's like Worcestershire sauce. I love saying shim. Yeah. Well, it's pleased to meet you. Your plastic ship. Oh, sorry, I was going to ask you out, but see how charming I can be if I'm, if I'm removed from any situation I need to be charming. You want to hear that line again? I'll use it. I use it here with you, but I can't use it in public. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't date people that use plastic shims. So I was going to ask you if well, we could have our shims meet each other. Well, I don't know. These wooden shims, they've been scrapped. They've been through a lot, where plastic shims, I don't know. These were once a mighty tree. Then they got processed into some sort of, lumber product. And now they're shims, where your plastic shims. Oh, I'm sorry. You love plastic shims. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could leave my shims at home, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I've got, though. But I would never use that, except I would never need to use that. Oh, well, okay, I guess your romance died with the plastic shim, I'll tell you that much. I know that for a fact. So, okay, so we're all set here. I'm not going to ask for any help. No, let's just get out of here and let's go. Okay, we're back at my place by the magic of podcasting. So, but anyway, let's go inside. This is when I'm at my best here. The actual mostly the assembly process. One more wrinkle in the plan. We won't be able to finish. I don't think we'll be able to finish it because the one time that guy did. He says just bragging on this company I did buy because I thought I had a drill, a cordless drill, and then I bought one. Because I couldn't, I said, no, I guess I don't. Last one I remember I loaned to somebody and then melted at their house into the rug while they were charging it. So that was the end of that one. So I got a new one, and then from the company that always delivers everything on time. And then I looked, and it was supposed to be here, but it didn't get shipped, I guess, because they must have been out of stock or something. So we won't be able to do it, but so we're going to start here. So we need here's our tools. So we have a screwdriver with the bits and with the hex bits. And I've talked to you about this before off air about the IKEA furniture assembly, and it's just good to have your own hex bits if you're going to be doing this. And if you have a nice screwdriver like this one where you can change the bits out. And this screwdriver's not even that great. No offense, screwdriver, but you're missing that some part of you. Oh, I'm missing it. Yeah, well, don't you see? The one person with the screwdriver that talks back to him. But yeah, if you have a cordless drill, it can save you. But if you can also do damage with it, you need to be careful. You got to. But we don't have one, so it's not a problem. But that's all we need right now, I think, is a hammer, the screwdriver. We might need some stubby screwdrivers, but I don't see that need right now. So we're going to start with 41, bar 41, which looks like it's the top. It's a big rectangle. And then we need 3 of these EQ 980s. Those are L braces or something. I don't know what they're technically called, but they look like L braces or something. Okay, you got those. Yeah, I don't know which one of these is 41 because it says some of them have it stamped, some of them have stickers, so it's going to take me a minute. Can you get 12 KI 932Hs? Yeah, that's a 3/4 18 millimeter something. No, it looks like it's just it's an insert. So I think what we're going to do is hammer that in to the holes, and then that has threading that the screw will go into. And the screws we need 12 of those, and we need 12 KI 9321s. Those are 5/8 inches, 15 millimeters. What does that mean? I don't know. It just means look at the picture. See, you'll find them. I'm going to look, and then we need 87. So I found 41. That's this big. It's bigger than I thought. So I'm going to lie it on the floor here. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to lie it on the floor because look, we got to hammer these. Those are the KI 932s. So we're going to hammer those into the bottom, see? Okay, so 2, 4, 6. I'm going to do the, magical hammering here. Hammering. And then I'm going to flip this back over. So 6 are into there. And then the L bracket's going to go over the holes that are on the opposite side. Yeah, we got some sawdust. That's fine. And then we're going to screw the KI. And why don't you do the KI? Wait, I got to find 87. Oh, you know what? I just noticed that 87 is shorter than the length of 41. So that'll help me. And yeah, you just screw those 6 in. Now, don't tighten them because you want to make sure. Okay, great job. This is 87. Do you want to do some hammering? Not yet. Okay, well, I can't promise you there'll be any hammering left, but yeah, I'm going to hammer the rest of these 6 in. And then you want to screw these KI 9321s in. Great. Oh, look, unfinished surface. Good. So we're doing it the right way. Surface non fine. Superficie sin acabado. Oh, whoops, I didn't place boxes underparts to assembly avoid damage. I didn't do that, but that's fine. Okay, you keep tightening. I hear you, but don't over-tighten. Don't over-tighten because you don't want to strip anything. That could be something if I would have gotten a date with that imaginary shim woman, the shim lover. Maybe that could be another book I write, the shim lover. You see, what do? Well, I go to hardware stores and I use a shim. I'm a shim pickup artist. So far, I used it once and I was banned from that store, but that was just a test. But you see, well, what would you do if you got a date? We'd play strip assembly. We'd, assemble furniture and strip, each time a screw is stripped. Oh boy. Is it getting hot in here or is it the furniture assembly? Okay, I'm just kidding. So now we need 30 and 31. And these look to be the structural sides because you can see these brackets. That's going to be what holds the bottom of the bed in. So those are equal size. Those are against this wall here. So let's just start with this one, which is 30. Excellent. And then we're going to need the bracket for it, which is either KI 985C or KI 985K. Yeah, those brackets, yeah. And then in that same box are little short stubby ones. That's KI 985M. Those are the bolts. We don't have any millimeter or inches. They're squat fat bolts. It comes with a hex wrench. We don't need that. Then there's the adjustable feet for the entire unit. Those are PA 844s. And then we need some RO 994s. Those are washers. That's simple. And then I think this is a return to where we started, KI 9321s and KI 932Hs. Right, so we're in business. You are really fast at getting these parts ready. I'll be honest, this is probably one of the more complicated parts here. So let's see. So we'll do the KI 932Hs. Let's hammer those in, and then we'll flip it over. Now watch your fingers and toes. And then let's put the feet in the bottom there. And those, let's just tap that with the hammer. Very nice. And now this is where I can mess stuff up. Now we see where the thing is headed. It's facing this this thing looks like an upside down P, this bracket. And yeah, these bolts are just going to screw right into the wood, believe it or not. And then the ones with the washers, yeah, we'll secure that one first with the washer. Good old KI 9321. Yeah, woof. And you know what? While you do that, I'll just get started on 31 right next to you. And what I'll do is I'll finger tighten, and you can you see this is like this is the high romance of the shim lover. I'll finger tighten, and then you screw them in for me. All right. Okay. Well, you finish that up. Okay, you finished 31, and then we're looking good. I'm gonna go get 40. I'm gonna get 2 70s. Which are all spanning the width. Or did we do... Oh, and that goes with 41. Oh, boy. I don't remember. Oh, I see. That attaches right to the bottom of 41. And then we need an 83. So I'm gathering 2 40s. I got, 140. Okay, then a 70. And then another 70. And the holes go down, they say. Okay. And then with this, we need 14 dowels, which they've painted teal for some reason. That's interesting. Those are GO 796s, but they're the only dowels that I see. And this long virile screw here is the VC. That's funny. It's VC 204. It's a 2-inch 50 millimeter, 16 of those. And yeah, for this, we want to watch your fingers and your toes here. So we're going to put 31 up against the wall here on the left. That's big and heavy. And we're going to lean it. And then we're going to lean 30 against the mattress on this side, on the right side. Now we're going to take 40. And that's a big rectangle. And that is it looks like the bottom piece. And yeah, we're going to have, very good. And then you just tap those dowels into 31. Perfect. And then I'm going to insert the dowels into 40. Yes, I am. When would we strip? Well, listen, whenever we needed to shim. I don't know when you actually would, because you wouldn't want to strip while you're actually putting together furniture. That's a terrible idea. Unless you're going to stop. But we can't stop now because so let's not talk about it. Because now I'm going to finger tighten these VCs in, these VC 204s, and then I'm going to need we're going to switch, I'm going to hold it like this, yeah, to one hand on 31, one hand on 40. And you come around here and just barely tighten these VCs, just like halfway in, right. Excellent. And I'm going to go over to the 30 side. I'll meet you over there. Yeah, and you come over, tap those dowels in. And then we're going to put our VC204s into 40. No, we want as much play as possible. We just don't want it to fall on our feet. Okay, now this next stage, I'm going to need you to get some muscles. I need you to sit on the floor and put your knees up. We're going to balance this 70 on your knees and your hands. I think this is where part of the bed run. Yeah. So then this has like an L-shaped piece of wood. So the dowels, that's 83. And if you hold it with your knees, I'm going to do, oh, I can hold it while you do it. Okay. Yeah, you put the VCs on each side and the dowels. And I'll just hold it up here for you. Okay, excellent. And just start start screwing those in there. Great. Very good. But leave it, yeah, don't get it. We need a lot of play. Why? Because this next part up here, trust me, because we may be doing this wrong. We might have to, oh, okay. And now we're going to do the same thing up here. Remember old 41? Oh, so this is actually the back of the unit that I'm standing above. And then 70. We're going to put 70 in and then 41's the top. So I'll hold 70 here, right? And you put 41 there. Well, you tighten everything. There's one problem is that it can't find my level. So we might have to not finish this because I know I have a level somewhere in this apartment, but I remember cleaning out and saying, well, should I get rid of the level or not? And then I had that debate for a while. And then I think I decided, well, let's put it in this obscure place I never look in case I ever need it. I'll totally remember where it is, which I didn't. I think it's in the apartment somewhere. I can't find it. Okay, is everything tight? Because I'm going to lift this. I'm going to, it's not too heavy for me. Believe me, I'm a beast of burden. No, don't worry about my back. My back has been, so yeah, see? Because you just walk these up. It's heavy, but we're going to use, yeah. See, now it's standing. A lot bigger than it looked. Yeah, I wouldn't be hearing that in another situation for sure. But so then we're going to put it against the wall here. That's where it's going to go. I actually have it marked out, kind of. But we need to level the feet, but I don't have a level. So we'll skip that stage because also we have to put the what do you call it into the wall anyway. So it's like yeah. So like I have to anchor it too. Oh, well, we're gonna almost finish. Don't worry, no guts, no glory here. We're having a great time. We're gonna put the bed part together next. Yeah, so see these giant things that one of these is KI-985A, one is KI-985B. We're going to lay them upside down. Yeah, this is the bed where the mattress goes on, the bed platform or whatever you want to call it. And then we have KI-985F. There's two of those. Those are like the locking bars. And these giant phallic things are KI-985N and KI-985O. And they say, this is a quick one. The holy subtext. So we're going to take that bar, push the bed together, yeah. So yeah, it looks like two twins, or whatever they call these, or two half twins, whatever. But it's coming together. And yeah, this bar at the head and the foot hold the two frames together. Yeah, I do wonder about that, if that middle bar is going to be, we'll find out, I guess, or, I don't think so, though, because look at how, look at how raised up it is in the middle, yeah. So, let's see, so yeah, then we're just getting, and then down the middle, we put in those three KI-85s. Yep, that's it. That bed frame. Now we can flip it over. Now this is heavy, so we got to be careful. And then I'll lie it down. Yeah, and the mattress goes right on here. Yeah, now would be the time to get out my shims if I could. But no, now what we need to do is put these spring tension bars in with a warning sign even. I don't know what this means. Well, screw the two ends of the cylinders. I don't know what that means, but it seems to be in this picture. So yeah, we're going to put those on. K85Js on the left and the right. And then this warning sticker, put the feet down. That's all that says. And then these next steps we cannot do, believe it or not. So that's it. We're done. Like putting it together, yeah, because if I had a level and a drill, we could have put those against, like I would have had to anchor that, level it, and then anchor it. Yeah, that was what the shims were for when we were anchoring it to the wall. Yeah, so to make sure it's flush against the wall. But yeah, we'll put the mattress down there. Probably, you're laughing because, yeah, probably this will be the state of the bed for now, 6 months maybe. It'll be a mattress on the floor, but it'll be on a frame on the floor. And then this, what could be one day a wall bed. Yeah, like 6 months, maybe 6 months it'll take me to get the emotional, momentum to finish this. But we've started it, so thank you. I wish we, had it I wish there was like a shim, like a bar where we could go out and use this shim material. Yeah, this bed looks good. At one point, let me just show you, it'll lift in there. And then on the bottom of the bed, I assume will be something like a faux something. So then it'll just look like a strange, like a giant armoire. And then you could say, is that an armoire to a world with a lion and all those wonderful creatures of adventures? No, it's my, that's where I put my shim, but to keep it flush with the wall. So thanks. And yeah, I think I'm going to we want to take a nap. Yeah, like a plutonic nap time. Yeah, let's lie down here. Yeah, this is a great mattress, Casper mattress, believe it or not. It's pretty nice. And close your eyes and we'll drift in. As you feel that, it's perfect spring here. As you drift off, and I drift off to dreamland. Good night.